YouTube, Will Nate 35, and I just wanted to show you the finished product of the E-flite F4U Corsair. This is the marine version. As you can see here, I'm balancing the plane. Right now I've got a 2200 3-cell battery all the way as far forward as I can get it, and it's balancing perfectly. So this video basically is something that I wanted to do quickly so that I can give some build tips, things that I encountered and experienced, so that maybe I can help somebody out who decides to buy this plane and you know, hopefully help them put it together better than I did. So let's get going. Okay, so the main thing that I really want to talk about here is the when installing the elevator. You want to make sure you don't over tighten that screw, because if you can tell, I'm not sure if you can see that, but I over tightened mine, of course, and it didn't even seem like it was getting tight. So just keep an eye on it. See how that is kind of crushed? It actually pulled this thing back a little bit, so that's unfortunate, but whatever. It is what it is. Live and learn. And that's really why I wanted to make this video, just to kind of help you guys out. So that's the first thing that I encountered that I did not do a good job with. Alright, so here's the inside of the plane, and as you can see, I've got an Admiral 2200 Pro 3-cell battery as far forward as it can go. The battery strap aren't on just because it's just for test purposing right now, just to balance it out. So when I do fly it, I will put that on. As you can see here, you've got a rat's nest of wires. So just right now, I just tucked it all in there. There's a opening, or there's a space there you can tuck all the wires in, but it still looks really messy. So probably something I'm going to want to clean up a little bit. Second thing is, since I'm using the Admiral, that comes with the Dean's connector, and that's what I usually use on all my planes. So I ended up making this little converter, basically. So made that, and now it connects perfectly with my battery, so I'll be able to use all my 2200s on this plane. Alright, then with the spinner, what I did was, I don't know if it was the paint or what it was, but it wasn't screwing in right. So without the prop on there and anything on there, basically what I did is I threaded the that cap or spinner, I guess you'd call it, this thing here. I threaded it in there so I can just hand thread it, just to tighten it up and just see if I can get a little bit of that paint off, because that thing was kind of with the propeller on it, I couldn't even tighten it. So doing that helped out, and then after that you put the prop on, and then you tighten it up to obviously install the propeller, and it doesn't seem to, or at least for me, the motor on the inside is spinning while I'm trying to tighten that spinner. And so unlike a lot of the other planes that I have, I mean, I can tighten it down fairly well, but in this case here, it just spins on the inside. So I'm not sure if that's supposed to be that way. I spooled it up, or spun the propeller, and I put it almost at full speed, and it didn't come off, or it didn't loosen. So I think it's fine. Maybe it's just one of those kind of things where you can't over tighten that sucker, just because the prop will turn and won't allow you to. Alright, now with the setup on the radio, I'm not sure how some folks like to do that, but in my case, I did not like to use that flap system where it says select D, or select switch D. I did not like that switch, because if you're using a DX6, if you look at this, switch D is right here. I prefer to have it really on, my preference is this switch here, which is switch, if I can make it focus, it's switch B. Let's see. Come on. Well, anyhow, you get the idea. So what I have on my setup is I have my flaps, my gear here, so gear up and down. Then I have my flaps here, so it's right next to each other. They're totally, this one's a longer switch, it's a 2-position switch, so I'm not going to mistake it for one or the other. So that's how I like it. Then I set up my switch C as my high and low end, and I actually, in my case, I prefer just to have one switch for my high and low, my high and low rates. Sorry. So I just put all 3, elevator, aileron, and rudder, on one switch. Again, that's my preference. You can put yours any way you want to do it, but what I did, again, like I said, is I moved. Instead of selecting switch D, I selected switch B, so that my flaps are next to my my gear. Other than that, the build went really easy. I didn't have any other issues with anything. Very simple. And like you had seen at the very beginning, it balanced out really well. So there she is, my new plane. I really like it. Hopefully my next video will be a flight of the plane. So Will Nate 35 signing off. If you have any questions, feel free to post it, and I'll try to write back to you as quickly as I can. Alright, now it's Will Nate 35 signing off.